You can put United States into Africa 4 times. But the GDP of Africa, you check on your internet, because for you, me I have got my Kaviriti. It doesn't have internet on it. They stop me from thinking properly. The name about internet, you check. What is the GDP of Africa? 2.7 trillion. Can you imagine? Dollars. The United States, which is 1/4 of African land size and 1/5 in the population, because Africa now is 1.5 billion people. The United States is like 300 million. It's 30 trillion dollars. What is causing all this? The hemorrhage. The hemorrhage. Ekikulukuto. Mwagala kufaana ekikulukuto bannange. Omukyalo ono Uganda Africa tumuwonye ekikulukuto oba tukole tutya? Tumuwonye. So that's really the tax you are talking about is a very positive tax, selective only for okusaka ebitali bikulu. Up to now, actually, we are still medicine is tax-free. Medicine, pharmaceuticals. Although we shall tax them because we are not making our own medicine. Pharmaceuticals have been tax-free. Machinery, tax-free. Machinery. If you are bring a machine to make products, tax-free. So, of perfume obo, obita, abanyankole obeta ki, perfume zako, abanyankole nerabide ki babita. These are the ones we are taxing. Whiskey, those luxury items. So, if Sandra is in that business, please.
It's not a business.
Jango twala matoga je wano gatunde Kampala.
Mr. President, ngenda kuchimagabwere. Ngenda kuchimagabwere tutandike capital.
No problem, I can even donate you. Okay.
So finally, then on that, I'm so sorry. Finally, Mr. President, thank you so much. Olambise bulungi ekintu ekyo. Naye kati tukkiriza nti wano tutandisewo businesses zaffe, but rent still nasigala nga ali waggulu nnyo. Era kwega batucharginga kinene nnyo olugattako n'ebintu ebiba byonoonye ebintu byaffe.
Kiki? What is up?
Okupangisa rent mu kibuga nti
I think what we shall do,
yeah,
that's a valid point. The government, the mistake was done by your opposition groups. That's where the mistake started, because the culture of markets owned by the city council and the town councils up country was a very clever policy of where the government provides low cost, low rent spaces for abatandika. Now, Sebana Kisto, when he took over as mayor of Kampala, privatized, brought Abasu's to own the markets. And I've been trying to get them back. But I'm now going to be more active and really create spaces where you young people can come and start.
Mr. President.
The government can build that concept of markets, yeah, owned by the government, whether city council or Mbarara. Here in Mbarara we had those spaces owned by the town council, where people would come with small rent and then they grow up and then That's how the omusajja waffe Seya erinnya bamwitangani Sebagala. That's how people who were very poor in the market started and they grew. So the government should create. It was a mistake to privatize those low-cost free spaces, whether they are markets or even building centers. That's why, for instance, I built skilling hubs. Where I train the children free of charge, then they go. But we can go further and create those spaces town by town. That's a valid point, and we could deviate the properties of those basubuzi. Yes. Okay, if they don't have customers, they will also behave. Yes. Because now they are misbehaving. But I'm going to start to build these centers for you people, young people, come here and work for either for low rent or no rent. You only pay for electricity and so on. That's a valid point now. Sandra Katayogete Banan.
Toyanziza nnyo, Mr.
President.
Sandra kali akaveeko ak'okuleeta ebintu mu Uganda.
Ak'ekikulukutu.
Tukole ebyaffe.
Ngenda kima amatooke.
Amatooke fena tugenda gatwala. Sikyo?
Very good.
Mr. Gerard Ojokonyero is a software engineer, and he's also here to represent the young people that are in that sector. They've been asking so many questions, but he's here to represent all of them.
Fine.
Yes, several, Mr. President. You had mentioned something about commercializing farming as a sector youth can dive into. But what I can tell you, Mr. President, is that as the youth don't think about farming. Our mindsets are not around agriculture and all that. You see, like we are in this 21st century .com era, internet, what everyone is running to the internet. Everyone is trying to digitalize their businesses. TikTok, social media, what we have influencers. People are making money like that. But now the problem is because everyone is running to the internet. Everyone wants to put their business out there. The problem is now the challenge that we face is the data issue. They are expensive. You load your data for 2,000, in the next minute they tell you you've used 90%, and then you'll be like, yay, where did that data go? Mr. President, data is a very big influential thing to us youth because we are putting our businesses out there and it is very expensive. Data and network connectivity. Some areas I can tell you in my village, that side of Gulu, it's called Laboch Koro. It's the connectivity there is very, very poor. So the youth, we really need help in that side, in terms of data.
Very good, very good. Now, first of all, I must rescue you in terms of thinking, because I have not had anybody eating computers. From what I hear, people are still eating food. However, what is his name? This the one of the American man.
Elon Musk.
Not Musk. There's another one. The one who started the Bill Gates. I saw him eating in London. He was eating food. So, whatever you are doing, don't forget the basic requirements of life. It would be misleading for me to come here and say, oh yeah, internet. I'm not your enemy. I tell you what is correct, because I know the importance of internet. I am a general. I fight. We know what technology does. But technology must be put in a proper context. The basic needs of man are still the same. Food, you must have food. You must have clothes, clothing. You can't go naked that you are computer, you are what? Shelter, where to live. Where to live. That's why you are talking of workspace. That's shelter. Not renting. That's shelter.
But Mr. President...
Rindako, just wait. Medicine. Health. So those are now mobility. Mobility also became important. Transport, how to move around. So those are the basics which you should all be very clear about. But within that, there are these enablers. It is true that internet, electronics, has helped us to do things much faster. Because like when we were fighting in the early days, I had to judge. It was called distance estimation. I had to use my eyes to estimate how far the enemy is so that I could adjust my gun sight to shoot him properly. But these days, with the laser, it tells me exactly where it is. I don't have to calculate. I just read it on the gauge. You see that. So we know how the computers have helped. So be clear about that. So therefore, Odokonyero is correct. Internet should not be owned by private people. It is the same story like the workspace, like the renting. Because when the internet is owned by business people, especially if they monopolize it, they are after money. They are after money. That's why the internet, the backbone is owned by the government. The government has got their own backbone, so I will have to check with Badimuns what is the problem. Why should the people in Gulu, and I have been building the internet, taking it all over the place. I will check. I have not checked to know why, where it has reached. But the government internet backbone would not overcharge you. And I think the cost was coming down from $600 per gigabyte or something else. It will come down. It will come down. But the strategy is that the backbone should be owned by the government, not the private people. So if the private people have their own backbone and they make it expensive, you abandon them and you use the government one. I will check that. I will check that. That's why I want the railway to be owned by the government. The electricity, the power dams. You know, I don't know whether you heard that we had brought an Egyptian group into the railway, but we chased them because they're after money. And for us, we want low-cost transport for our products. So for the internet, it's the same. We need low-cost transmission so that it doesn't become very, very expensive. The railway, the pipeline, you have seen that in the pipeline for those common infrastructure should not be owned by the private people, should be owned by the government. But I will check what is the problem with the Gulu.
Yes, Mr. President, and also in addition to that, we still have that band of Facebook to access it. I don't know why it is still there, because what the youth are doing these days because internet, as we mentioned, is a very key factor to support the youth's business, because every youth these days is digitalizing their business. They market it on social medias platforms. So if Facebook can also come back and they remove that restriction on it. Because
we shall study that, because I had to teach them a lesson. Because they thought that without Facebook, Uganda will disappear. But Uganda is thriving. Yes, Dokonyero has got some little problem. But we are moving ahead. The cows are going home and coming back. We had to make it clear that they can't stop us. We're unstoppable. So they have been shut now for how long? But Elon Musk is making very good proposals, because he wants now, because you see the internet is through the wires, the cables underground, then in the ocean. But Elon Musk is proposing satellite, cheaper, which is cheaper now. In the past, we were using satellite. It was very expensive. But then we started using the cables, which was a bit cheaper. But now Elon Musk is saying he can make it even cheaper by satellite. So they are also fighting for space, so we shall take advantage of them.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. My name is Nasozi Shakira. I am a youth leader and a young entrepreneur.
Shakira is the name of where?
It's a Muslim name, but...
Shakira, it's some Arabic something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time. I just like Mzee's reasoning, and I like your leadership traits as a young leader. And for sure, I've been seeing Mzee speaking economics only. And for sure, ladies and gentlemen, you'll agree with me. Uganda needs people like Mzee who are true economists, because we need our economy to grow day by day. Mzee, you have been talking about the 4-acre model, and you have been encouraging us to take part. And as a young entrepreneur and a youth leader who has been mobilizing most of my friends to open up businesses in agriculture, I've seen that we as the Gen Zs see agriculture as something that is tiresome, something that is going to make them what, and most of the Gen Zs say that they do not have land where they can carry out their agriculture. And I've made more research that to countries like China, it is contributing less than 10% since it's on a small scale. And furthermore, 86% of the Chinese youth are actually involved in non-agricultural activities, and it is actually contributing to the gross domestic product of their country. So as our Jaja, as our Mzee, are there any other opportunities that are non-agricultural that we as the Gen Zs can get involved in, and they can actually help us to push our economy from one level to another? Are there any?
Shakira has now talked correct economics. And not only correct economics, but also socio-economic transformation. It is true that with modernization, you get less people in agriculture and more people in manufacturing and services. That's correct. So that's what therefore here, when I say 4 acres model and all this, it is transitional. Because at the same time, I'm talking about manufacturing. I'm talking about services, hotels, entertainment, professional services, medicine. So If you take the United States, only 2% of the people are in agriculture.
Very true.
So even here, it will change. But in the meantime, it can't change overnight. So that's why I say for you people, still in the rural areas, with small land, your medicine is 4 acres. 4 acres model. The ones with big land like me here, I can do large scale. But at the same time, manufacturing. That's why we're creating industrial parks. Namamve, Bale, all of this. So, the youth, if they don't want to go into agriculture, that's why they can go into other services. This is why I'm telling Sandra, go into, because trade is a service. When you are a trader, you are a service provider. You are linking me, the matoke grower, with the consumer in Kampala. In the Sirinabu day, I don't have time to go to take the bananas to Kampala. But Sandra takes them, a trader. So it is true that so therefore the youth, if those who are in agriculture should be there. And as agriculture becomes more efficient, because also what we have now in the country is what we call disguised unemployment.
Yeah.
You know, with modernization, you get more and more of what we call rationalization. Rationalization kitegeeza okujjamu ebiteetaagisa. Waliwo bye tukola naye tibyetaagisa. Singa bivaamu, we shall be more efficient. It's called rationalization. So our structure now, you'll find the Jaja, grandfather, is on the 4 acres. The ones we are talking about, Jaja is there, grandfather is there, father is there, Muzukuru is there, they are all there on the 4 acres. But they are not all needed. They are not, we just need only one. But it is still our structure. We can't change it. So we accept it, try to use it as we move forward. But actually, you may find that, I haven't checked, but you can check, with a tractor, how many people do you need for 200 acres? You may find you need few people to plow for 200 acres rather than very many people. So with the use of machinery, you reduce numbers. Then those numbers can go and do other things. So what is clear, what is correct, what is necessary is the long-term vision. As long as Yogenda Olengerayo, these transitional steps, you can see that some of them are not necessary, but as long as we see where we are going, we shall get over them. So I totally agree. Now I am with Shakira. She has joined me. When I was in Tanzania, I was teaching economics at, when we were fighting Yamin, I took off some 2 years to teach. And I was teaching a course called, one topic, characteristics of backwardness. How do you know a backward country? One of the characteristics is to have more people in agriculture than in industry and services. It's clear. It's one. But that's where you are starting. So what do you do? Because now we have been having agriculture, but subsistence agriculture. Okorra ekida kyonka.
Yeah.
Only working for the stomach. Teach me each keken. Do you speak Acholi?
Yes, I do.
Lo Kacholi?
Yes.
Lo Kimabel?
Ati mabe.
Apoyo. Pacho kweni? Pacho kweni. Pacho.
Pacho.
Pacho kweni.
Tie ingo. La poch koro.
Koro.
Mm.
Oh. We are speaking our language. These people cannot understand. So, because what we have been having has been subsistence agriculture. People are just there only producing what to eat. So we say, please, now at least start producing what to eat and what to sell. And do so with the chivaro. It is better than what you are doing now. But it's not the best. But in the meantime, so we are together now.
Thank you so much, Mzee. And maybe lastly, Mzee, I've heard about the presidential initiative on skilling of the girl child. I've seen it in Chivuli. I don't know any other place, but I mainly saw it in Chivuli. My fellow youth from the eastern side would also need such skilling, and I'm one of them. I saw people being trained in shoemaking, and I make shoes. I saw people being skilled in tailoring, bakery, and very many other activities. And they're actually given machines to start up. And as you know, the eastern side, it's one of the regions where unemployment is very high. So I was requesting, if possible, if at all the presidential initiative on skilling of the girl child can be extended also in the eastern region, in the areas of Jinja, Soroti, Katakwi, and very many other areas.
There are zonal skilling hubs there, all of them have.
Because
all of them have. The girl child was only in Kampala.
Yeah, and that is why I was like, can it be extended in Jinja and very many
Yeah,
other
we can
places?
do it. We can do it. Skilling is
My
skilling
pleasure.
Skilling is. Now, some people are saying that why are you only talking about the girl child? Why not the boy child? This was just to deal with the cultural distortion where the girls were really sort of forgotten in inheritance. It had its reasons in the past, because the reasons were patrilineal society which is go through the male, which is in order, but also exogamous. You don't marry within your clan, which was all sound science, because that's why we have very strong genes. Towasa or Uganda, you don't marry your relative, you marry. But in the past, there were wars between the clans. So that's why they didn't want the girl to take the cows to the clan where you may fight tomorrow. But those things are finished now. So that's why the NRM says, no, the girl must have equal rights. My girls here have equal rights with Mhos. There's no way you can say my girls, although they are married, their share here is there. In my wealth. So that one should also be clear.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for that wonderful information. And looking at the 5 principles of the NRM government, one that sticks out to me is socio-economic transformation. And we've looked into the economic transformation a bit, and the social one too. a smaller extent. But when I look at Unstoppable UG today and wanting to relate it to the social transformation, I would love to first start by requesting the panelists to share with us what they think makes them unstoppable enough to enable us as young people achieve or help the NRM government to achieve these 5 principles.
And also to request the panelists, let's be Gen Z enough. We speak in seconds and continue with the next program.
Mr. President, I think all of us panelists and moderators and audience at large have been beneficial enough to learn from your leadership, because us, we've been born under your wings and we've been able to pick leaves from you. And your resilience and diligence in leading the country inspires us, Gen Z, to also try and be unstoppable like you. I would love to hear your take. I would love to hear the origin story of this unstoppable movement later from you. And yes, thank you again so much.
I think our starting point is that we were not so much taken up by the colonial system. You know, the colonial system was very dangerous because before colonialism, there was no unemployment here, the one you are talking about. Because this word I have introduced to you, emyoga. Emyoga means a skill. Omwoga is a skill. Everybody had a skill. You had the farmers, crops, people. You had the cattle keepers. You had the blacksmith, abawesi. You had the carpenters, ababazi. You had the abakomaji, backcloth makers. You had all those skills. Everybody had a skill. But when the Europeans came, they killed the artisanship. They killed the artisanship. They started, plates were imported, cups were imported instead of the traditional clay, wooden plates and so on. So therefore, Africa became an import-dependent society. And that's how this distortion of this arts, you know what, the arts-science debate. Because when you look at life, a normal life, you have more science than arts. If you see the house you sleep in needs science. The car you are driving, you need science. The food you are eating, you need science. Whatever, much of it. Yes, there is space for administration, but you need less administrators and more myoga people. So, when the Europeans came, they distorted everything. It also created inferiority complex. Africans thought they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. Like, for instance, when we were fighting Amin, some people came to me and said, you know, Mr. President, I was a fighter, Mr. Museveni, what we should do is to get money, we hire Israelis to kill Idi Amin. I said, but why should we hire Israelis to kill Idi Amin? We can kill him ourselves if we want to kill him. But you can see the dependency. So, the chance we had, some of us who were not so much involved in the colonial system, we were here, cattle keepers, crops people. Then when we came into the system, we said, these people, what they are saying is not correct. Like my discussion with Sandra, a wonderful discussion, historic. because Sandra didn't, I don't think she had heard about the Chikulukuto. Because she thought she had a very strong point. Strong point was you are taxing our Bietusaka China. Or to say, the Munangi, and ya to say, Sandra ya to say, Banang. Kumanga, Yayambe Chikuru Kutochi. So this is, you can see the meeting of the two movements. My movement from the resistance to foreign dependency. And then whatever these young people have been picking up from Kasita. You know Kasita, there's a group in Kampala called Kasita. Their job is to import. Why do you import Kasita, Banan? Why don't you either make or distribute what is here? So, it was, and we had not lost our base. We still had our base. That's how, for instance, the Ankole cow, we kept it. They were saying, oh, Ankole cow is what? Ankole cow is the best. Now the Ankole cow is earning much more. The other day, Ramaphosa, in South Africa, I sold him for the 3 cows. He actually cheated me because he gave me a very low price. I sold him for the 3 cows from Ramaphosa. Now he's a big man there in South Africa. The other time he sold a cow for 187 million shillings. 1 cow. 187 million shillings. But imagine, and why is it so special? The Ankole cow has got yellow fat. All these other cows have white fat. The one which causes cholesterol. The Ankole cow is anti-cholesterol actually. So, but this one was not known. Now, your people have have identified the medicine for cancer, have discovered the medicine for diabetes, for malaria. All these were here. Our people knew them. But the world didn't know. And if we had, so it is that background of we are not fully captured mentally by the foreigners who are still Africans over here. Because also remember that Europeans have not, we did not interact so much with the outside world. The first non-black person to come here, unlike our Africans at the coast, in West Africa, in East Africa, they had more infiltration. But you remember from your history, you people, the first non-black person to come to Uganda was an Arab called Ibrahim. He came in 1841. This is the first time to see a non-black person. So they thought he had no skin. My great-grandmother who was alive thought that white people had no skin. That they were inyama, they were meat. Because to have black skin, you must be black. So that recent interaction is the one really which kept us. Yes, we can see the new things, we can see the advantage, but So I think it is that you call it, I think, convergence of indigenous and new that makes us very strong. Very strong. That's why we are sure of ourselves. because we know what is indigenous here. For instance, like the Banyankore used to drink milk without boiling it, like the Karamojong are still doing now. But when people said, there are some organisms in the milk which can harm bacteria, which you need to kill, and we change it. So we boil, but still we keep the milk. So change, continuity within change, or change within continuity. This is where we are strong. So the other time when there was a war in Ukraine, there's a war. What are we going to do? Really, you are crying that is a war in. Is the war in Mombasa? No. Is it in Jinja? No. What are you crying about? Let them fight. You do your own things. Oh, there will be no bread, no what. Eat mogo. What is the problem? Who has stopped you from eating mogo? And I can see you are all very, very fat. I think, I don't know what you are eating. Oh, bananga bankoze bulungi okundetera GENZ.
Sevo, the Gen Zs really have so many questions for you. They would love to spend the entire day with you. I don't know if you can give us another day, we just come back.
I have no problem, I will organize it.
Yes, we shall be so grateful to come back.
I can have a whole day. Because you see, what you call Gen Z, I am a former Gen Z myself. And I wish I had shown you my picture when I was your age, 1968, when I was like 23, 20. Next time I will show it to you.
I'll come back to see the picture.
Because what I want to ask the Gen Z, am I allowed to ask a question also?
Yes, we are so ready for you.
Permission granted.
Permission granted.
Yes, we are ready for you.
Now, do I take it that Gen Z want to be softies? Because for us, we're not softies. We're tough. That was our generation were emphasizing toughness, resistance. That's how we were fighting the whites in Mozambique. The picture I want to show you is when I went to Mozambique in 1968 to be with the freedom fighters. But your generation, what are you going to be softies?
No, our generation is just misunderstood.
And if you are softies, how will you guarantee our future?
Well, I would love to take the opportunity to thank you, Mr. Sevo, for that question. Now, I was ready for you as a real Gen Z. We have been able to have a chance of the young Gen Zs that have gotten knowledge from you to come up with things like Unstoppable UG. Now, this is going to enable us to become more of the dreamers we thought we weren't. We are going to become wealth creators.
You're going to be innovative and tough Gen Zs.
We are going to be innovative. Mr. President, when you were talking about your era of being a Gen Z, you didn't talk about being a hustler. We are big-time hustlers. We are game changers. And above it all, there is no generation like us because we aim to learning, unlearning, and relearning. Thank you so much to everyone that has been watching, guys. It has been an amazing time having you all. And we cannot wait. We know you all have so many questions for the president. Put them in the comment section. The magic hashtag is #UnstoppableUG. And my colleague is going to be giving her last remarks, and then I'll be letting you know what next.
Well, thank you so much, Tifa, and thank you so much, Mr. President, for your amazing time. I would love to stress the point that we are indeed unstoppable. We come with new ideas, and we request to be listened to be seen, to be heard, and to be acknowledged, because we are here
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much
Mr.
for being
Kawai.
amazing people. To our audience, the media, the panelists, you have been very amazing people. Do not forget that we are Unstoppable UG, and we are the first ever podcast of young Ugandans that are dreamers, innovative, entrepreneurs, and above all, we are going to change the format that people know about our generation. Museveni, let me report some people. They say our generation is lazy. They are lying. We are very hardworking. We are very good people, and we support your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The Gen Zs of Uganda, about Gen Zs?
And you are not softies.
No, we are not softies. We are hustlers, and we love you so much.
You're part of me. We're like the morning sunrise and believe you're coming with me. The fire, we are unstoppable. Yeah. We are unstoppable. We are who we are. We are unstoppable. We are the power. We are strong and tough. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. Better believe it.